He made mention of Imo Chicken, Imo Carton, Imo Water Works, Imo Inland Water Corporation, or whatever. Two of them are the same ministry, are working the same thing. He made mention of ICC, that he said they went as far as going to Malaysia to bring palm fruit. I wonder how we, the East, the hard kids of Igbo, have to go to Malaysia to bring palm fruit to our people to come and start harvesting. Malaysia that came to Nigeria to come and look for palm fruit. We have been so relegated to that level where we don't know our rights that they went to Malaysia to go and bring palm fruit for our people to learn how to plant palm fruit in our own country, in our own land. That they spend almost 14 to 15 million naira every month putting in this business and nothing is coming out. If that is what he said, and that is the fact about life, I quite agree with him. But what I have my own reservation is that he is not sincere. They are not sincere. I asked him which way forward. Did you sack these workers? He told me no, they asked them to step aside. I said, of what power do you have to step workers aside? He said because they want to give it to the private sector. And that is where you shot yourself on both fools. You're not supposed to give it to, you're not supposed to sack them, you're not to the private sector. It's not left for you now to give to the private sector. Let the private sector do whatever they want to do. Then we'll know that the government's hand is not in it. But we're so doing, the government has derailed. They have derailed from the issues of job employment, which was being pushed by the central government. He has derailed from everything. He is not telling us the truth. I was in the SM media and the protocol chairman yesterday at Okigwe. They told me that in fact both of them don't have information, adequate information. The man at the studio don't have adequate information. The SM media don't have adequate information. The chief protocol doesn't have adequate information. The president doesn't have adequate information. And I was in contact with all of them. I called that man yesterday at Okigwe. What do you have to say about this thing, this sacking? He said, no, they didn't sack anybody. That the media, in fact, he was accusing the media that the media should be held responsible over this issue. I said, that does it mean that the
okay.
that they are working
Messiah, let's look at some of the matters that have been raised here. The Imo Water Board, Water Corporation, for instance, they've said for the past 4 years at least.
That's the period he was governor.
Yes, for the past 4 years at least, there's not been water flowing through the taps in Imo State. And so they were not being productive and needed to be let go. Is it true that there's not been water flowing through the taps?
Actually, I will not say completely true. You know, in Nigeria, we've got a system whereby our system has disintegrated for a very long time, and we're coming out from a different angle. And the Imo Water Works, they have two boards, according to what the chief of staff told me. They have two board water works, and I don't see where two of them could be doing the same thing where they're paying them.
Wait, you say there are two boards?
From what he told me, I am quoting what the chief of staff told me, Honorable Uche Nawonsu. He told me that they have Ministry of Water Resources in Imo State, they have Imo Water Works or something. That both of them are doing the same thing. And how can two of them be doing so while they're putting the same money? I quite understand the thing. Yes, it's fine. What they're doing that is fine. Before you start these persons, what are the contingencies measures? What are you putting them to? Before you create this ministry, are you not aware that such thing will come up before now? If you're aware such thing before now, what would have been your plans before now? That's the one question. We don't want to know what's happened. What are the people that you will ask? I can ask someone to step aside. Is that a language? Are you in the military regime? How can the chief of staff openly tell me, Commander Meta, the spokesman that they ask them to step aside? What kind of language is that?
Okay, thank you. Just hold on 1 second. We'll come back with you. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Ajero. If you were in the governor's shoes, you have 19 ministries or parastatals that are not productive, what would you do?
Well, thank you very much. 19 parastatals that were handed over to me by successive governors perfectly.
Perfectly?
Yeah, they will not die in my hands. And I will manage, if I can't improve on those parastatals, I will manage to hand them over successfully to the next governor. Okay. Well, let me say this.
Even if you can't afford to pay their salary?
Well, if others could afford. And governance is all about being ingenious. You know, if they were able to survive, to pay them salaries, I will. Now, he mentioned something that the past 4 years, and I want us to take note of. Within that period under review, 4 years, that there was no water flowing, was the period Rochas was governor. Now, the Imo Water Board has ever worked. If it has ever worked, why did it stop working? Well, these are some of the things we should do. And like the question you asked, who appointed the helmsman there? You know, if the helmsman is not performing, what do you do? Now, because when you talk of concessioning, it's not like you are throwing it away. You are giving it to somebody who you believe will make profit. And that person is a human being. He will make that place to work. Now, these are all the arguments around. You now see 19 of the Imo Transport Corporation, I don't know when this started, used to be very lucrative.
God bless you.
It was working. Maybe when Rochas came in, it stopped working. And now they are owing staff salary, they are concessioning. Now you look inward to find out why those areas are not working. I'm saying that they work during Hakim, Udemwa, and all other governors. So why are they not working on that road?
Mr. Ajero, now suppose the concessionaire who comes in actually does not intend to fire all the, because he wants continuity.
Sorry, man.
He's going to retain some of them.
Sorry, man.
Who know the ropes.
Sorry, man.
Am I wrong?
Sorry, man. They are not the staff of the concessionaire. Sorry, man. You know, because these are staff of Imo State. I think I can finish here.
So there's a possibility that he will sack all of them?
He can't even take them. They are not his staff. Unless they are
maintain some of them.
Is he going to give them his ID card?
PHCN maintain some of their staff?
No, they have changed. PHCN, before they moved on, I was here, we negotiated the entitlement, concluded that service. What you are seeing now is fresh employment. Before even any new person entered there, we had collected the entitlement of the workers there because they have finished that job. So this one, I don't know, public service workers are not people you throw like ball, throw it to this person, throw it to this person. No, they are staff of Imo State government. So Imo State government must conclude with their employment, if that's the issue, before you talk of maybe Ajay and Co. taking over water board.
Okay. Someone's asking a question here before you go ahead. Steve Nwabisi says, I should ask you, the speculations that the government employs or appoints only his in-laws and relatives.
The speculation?
Yes.
To what office?
Steve Nwabisi says, is it true that the governor employs mostly his in-laws and relatives?
I cannot begin to deem in the realm of speculation. I wish
he's asking a question.
That whether is it true that the speculation governor appoints his in-laws, how many in-laws and relations is there? The only fact I know is that governor's in-law is a chief of staff. And you know, chief of staff is a personal office. So he didn't make him a permanent secretary in the ministry. So the state does not lose anything. It's a personal staff.
Political appointee. Yeah. Okay.
If 19 parastatals were not working,
yes,
was it the governor that appointed some of the boards?
No, of course it's not.
He was handed over boards.
Yes. Now let's be.
What is the tenure of the board?
Hold on. We don't want to come here and mislead the public.
No, I'm coming. When you do a concession,
yes,
you know the board has to go as well.
Yes, the board has to go.
Why let the board go when you could have? Why concession when you could have sacked the board and appointed the fresh board?
No, because we have come to conclusion that the problem there is systemic.
Let's take this call, then we'll come back. Hello? 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 Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, government having come to, over time, boards has changed and changed and changed. The end result is the same. You don't continue to repeat and do the same thing you do the same. We get him the same result. So we decided to do governance as a business model now. But beyond that, my brother said, even if he inherited this thing, he must do the needful to keep them and hand over to the next thing. I want us to be very practical about this matter. My total wage bill in Imo for December is 4.1 billion. My statutory receipts for at least for December is 1.9. With an IGR of 400 million, that gives me 2.3. I have a deficit of 1.8 billion. That's the challenge between me and Labour. That's what we're telling Labour. In view of the paucity of funds now, how do we make sure that everything works, the people get service, and we retain Labour?
Okay, Mr. Ajero, you said these parastatals worked in the previous administrations, but the revenues now and the revenues then are not the same.
Okay.
So how do you expect the government to handle this?
Governance, if I want to give you one straightforward answer. You see, he has been quoting 400 million IGR. Average. When Hakim took over, it was 160 million. Hakim grew it to 650 million. I want us to go back to the records in Imo.